Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. And I'm going to turn this one into a misty gorge kind of thing with evergreens and a nice sky. Naples yellow in here. I do encourage comments if you enjoy these videos. It does help with YouTube's algorithm to get videos seen as their policy has changed. So I'm just wiping in some. I've just left a thin film of water basically on the paper just to move the colours round. And in the top here, very pale, some cobalt blue. Almost can't see this, so I'll just strengthen it up, but I do like it to be pale, very pale. Creating some negative shapes for the clouds. Cobalt blue, alizarin crimson. Just drop a few clouds in it. Very pale kind of lavender. Just creating some interesting shapes. And then into that, the cobalt blue, alizarin crimson with a touch of burnt sienna. Some shadow. Just softening it all off at the bottom. This will soften off naturally, so I'm just ensuring a lovely spread. The board is arranged flat. It is lovely and delicate. Right, and I am going to leave this to dry. I'm going to add a little bit of colour in here as well, I think. Now I'm going to leave this to dry. Okay, the sky is now nice and dry. The paper is still damp. It's always nice to leave a little bit of dampness on the paper. And we're going to do the background mountain here first. So I'm just going to put a little water on it just to re-wet it, because I want this to be sort of a misty in the background. These don't have to be green, so I'm going to take some of the cloud colour, which is the cobalt blue, alizarin crimson, with just a touch burnt sienna on it. I'm going to add some trees into it here. Encouraging a bit of drift. I've decided I think I'll put a line of trees in here as well. So I'm just adding a little bit of water there. Same colour. It's a little bit closer, so we can go a little bit stronger. Just adding one or two spots of foliage to them. This will make your eye decide that they are trees, and you will notice that trees don't have to be green. Just changing the colour here to another colour, which is the sort of a bluey lavender, very pale. Once again, just adding a little tiny bit of detail to the tops of these. And you notice how your eye registers these as trees. Marks in here. Just want to drift some light colour, pull it down slightly. Come across to this mountain here. just re-wet it. It might be slightly too damp here to come down this far, so I'm just going to leave this damp. You can dry it with a hairdryer if you wish to, but sometimes I like to leave it to dry naturally and spread. Just let it do what it does really with watercolour. So I think I'm going to leave that to dry naturally, and we'll come back to this hill when this has dried out. Okay, I think that's dried out enough, and I'm just going to bring this mounting forward. So I'm going to take some of the, be a little bit too dark. Let's just have a look at this one. Yeah, that one I think. Cobalt blue and raw umber. I'm just going to pull these trees down and into it. Don't make them all the same size. Give one or two a little detail. Not much, like I said, it's just a hint. Let your eye do the rest. Fading off towards the back here. Not as much colour. Taking some of your cobalt blue, crimson and burnt sienna. With adding the sky colours into it, you're unifying the painting all the time. It's getting your eye to register what the shapes are more than what the colour is. And a tiny bit of cobalt blue. And I think in the back here I'm going to put some bushes, so I'm just going to run a little water up here to that because it's closer than the other, French ultramarine and raw umber. And I'm just going to drop that in and allow that to just drift up. Sky colour as well, possibly even a little on this side here. Some masking fluid on this, just on the rock edge here where I want to keep it clean and sharp. So a little bit of dark next to it will emphasise that. Don't want it to be overpowering. Once again, paling this into insignificance. Just a little of the cloud colour, cobalt blue, others in crimson, and a touch of burnt sienna. To let that dry. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take some of the cloud colour once again. I'm just going to block in this cliff shape here. Moving on to my darker colour, which is the French ultramarine burnt umber and alizarin crimson. I'm just going to drop this along this edge here and allow this to drift and mingle. Soften it at the bottom. Just a little bit of kitchen roll. Take some paint out with this, but not much. So I'm going to do the same with this one. It's quite a very dark green. It's the French ultramarine and raw umber. To drop some of the sky and mountain colours in, and you'll see this run throughout the painting, which always unifies all the colours. the same with this one here. Don't make your trees all the same height. This is the cobalt blue and the raw umber. Just dancing the brush. Some cloud colour. Once again, same procedure. Green, Indian yellow and burnt umber. I want this to come forward, and just with a different shade of colour this will pull it forward. Once again, some of the darker sky colour. Two trees to mingle here. Prince Ultramarine and burnt sienna. I'm just going to turn this upside down. Some of the branches out. Some of the darker green. Drop some in just to break up the block colour. Trees are wet with paint at the bottom. I'm just going to pull these in for a minute, allowing some shadow, and just attaches them to the ground. And you see how easy that's done. Ultramarine and sienna. French ultramarine and burnt umber with some of the alizarin crimson added. Sometimes you can leave the broken effects when the brush runs out of paint. Just adds a little bit of mystery to the tree. Water. Touch of the green. Forget to add some of the colours from the sky. Soften this all together, soften it backwards. Turn it round once again. French ultramarine, burnt umber and alizarin crimson. branches I want to put on them at the moment. Just going to break my mop brush open, taking some of the same colour. And very gently just drop some foliage in. Ultramarine, burnt umber and alizarin crimson, little on these bushes here. And don't forget to put some on the centre of the bush. It doesn't just go around the outside edge, but just helps to pull everything together. Not too much on the brush. Some of the French ultramarine and Indian yellow and burnt umber. I'll come back to this tree now that we can paint over the others. French ultramarine, Indian yellow and burnt umber again. French ultramarine, burnt umber with some alizarin crimson. Getting bolder with the strokes as you come down. Dropping some of the dark green into it. French ultramarine, Indian yellow and burnt umber. Turn this one into a dead one. So I'm going to put some Naples yellow on it first, and also in the background, cloud colour. A couple of dead ones in there, just to help pull your eye through the gorge. Ultramarine, burnt umber with just a touch of crimson in, just to keep the colours constant. Naples yellow to show through. I think this needs to be a little higher. Turning it into a dead one. Once we leave all this to dry, then we can remove the masking fluid and then we can paint the cliffs in the front. Okay, I've removed all the masking fluid and we come round to the cliffs. I'm just going to re-wet some areas. I want to keep some areas clean and bright. Blue and alizarin crimson. Drop some of that in there. Some Naples yellow as well. Alizarin crimson and burnt sienna along this edge here, and darken it. I'm just going to leave that sit for a minute. Some clean water on this half of this cliff. Drop some Naples yellow into this. Touch of cobalt blue, and alizarin crimson. Cobalt blue, alizarin crimson, and the burnt sienna. Along this edge just to keep it nice and dark, allowing it to drift out. And as it slowly dries, you can pull lines forward and put the crags in. touch of cadmium orange. I'll warm it up a little, taking my kitchen towel once again. Just removing a little paint. Into some of the darker shadows, French ultramarine, burnt umber and alizarin crimson. The paper is still damp, so I'll end up with some soft fishes. Follow the natural line. You see where the colour changes, and this is where you can really add some depth, and the lines don't look forced. If you're enjoying these painting videos, please click the like button and subscribe. Subscribers are always welcome and it's free. And clicking the like button and leaving a comment, which you are always welcome to do. It's always nice to hear from subscribers and old friends. I do manage to reply eventually. I'm going to re-wet it again. I'm going to leave a white patch on the front and some light areas once again, because I don't want the paint to travel too far. The Naples yellow, nice and light. The cobalt blue, very pale. Cobalt blue and alizarin crimson. Blue, alizarin crimson and some burnt sienna. So again, just drawing the shape of some shadowy rocks and crags in, even though it's wet. Develop them after. Softening some of the hard edges. Dropping some cadmium orange, very pale. Hardly noticeable. Just beginning to strengthen up one or two areas so we can begin to pull the cracks out. This edge. Once again, just a touch of Naples yellow, touch of cobalt blue, cobalt blue and alizarin crimson, cobalt blue, alizarin crimson and burnt sienna. Basically drawing some cracks in with the brush, just dropping in some weak cadmium orange. Back to this now, as we begin to darken one or two of these cracks. two tufts of grass. Some of the green, French ultramarine, Indian yellow and burnt umber. To have the odd bird in the sky. And once you've allowed your rocks to dry, you get round to the really good bit. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. And once again, if you've enjoyed these videos, please click the like button and subscribe and leave a comment. Everything helps with the algorithm. So once again, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I will leave a link in the description box to the other videos I've made for YouTube. Thank you very much for watching.